Next piece of news. Shinsuke Nakamura. So if you're a wrestling fan, and you probably are if you're watching this video, then you probably spent all day Friday, or all day today if you're watching live at twitch.tv/Colohue, hearing about that shiny new contract that Shinsuke Nakamura just signed. You won't have heard any details, of course. There was no detail, but people started reporting it. There was no news of dates, there was no news of money, there was no news of time. Even Shinsuke Nakamura himself was openly confused on Twitter. In fact, it actually goes further than that. There was no report that Shinsuke Nakamura signed a new contract with the WWE. Outlets and journalists from all around the world fell over themselves in the desperate attempt to be the first to report this non-news. In fact, they fell over themselves so hard that it's clear none of them actually listened to the source of this information, this week's Mat Men podcast, where Andrew Zarian spoke at length about Shinsuke Nakamura's 2019 contract signing. Since then, and since Andrew Zarian coming out and saying, yeah, I didn't report that, articles have been edited and edited and edited. One from a prominent UK site, written by their senior journalist and editor, is now a clickbait title about a massive update on Shinsuke Nakamura's future, followed by Shinsuke Nakamura seems happy in WWE and is still under contract with the company, because it's been edited so heavily. They didn't want to delete it, I respect that, but it's clear that there's a difference between a clickbait title of a massive update and then the actual content in which there is no update whatsoever. This raises one of my least favourite issues with wrestling journalism and journalism in general at the moment. It's something I'm calling the Clickbait Carousel. This is where an outlet will take news not from a source, but from another outlet and report it as their own in the hunt for more clicks and more income for a fraction of the work. Often they will make hundreds, if not thousands, from an article that they spend 2 or 3 minutes copy and pasting. It's a clickbait carousel, it's a copy-paste carousel. It's why everything Dave Meltzer says gets reprinted and reprinted and reprinted, even if he's just sharing his opinion and even if it's provably false. When you see an outlet crediting another outlet for a quote, that's a code. If you see an article with, here is the source of the info, but here's where we got the quote from, there is a code in that. Do you know what the code is? We didn't bother to fact check this, but somebody else did, so it's fine. It means they didn't listen to the podcast. They didn't read the report. They didn't respect you enough to bother confirming anything. That, unfortunately, is considered journalism now. Lost my voice there, got annoyed. They pass off the work of other people, take the credit, and then take your money too. Demand more from your journalists. When you come in here, not only do I try to share what I know for free, using information I'm able to independently verify, I'm also here to be accountable for what I report. Do you know what you can do if you think I'm wrong? You can tell me. I'm live on Twitch right now where you can jump in and say, Tom, you're wrong and here's why. This is a shared space where I host a newsroom, and many of you have brought reports in the past to make sure that this is the most informed place it is possible to be. That is what we should be demanding from our journalists. Instead, many of them hide. They use fake names and fake profile pictures, they keep their Twitter DMs closed, or they only read out comments from people who've paid for the privilege. While outlets create false perceptions by taking credit for the reports of others, or by ignoring correct reports from a reporter but giving them full coverage the second they get something wrong, know that what you get here is something you can't get anywhere else. Someone that you can personally hold to account, and if you tell me I'm wrong and show me where I'm wrong, I will thank you for it. You also get someone who would actually check if Shinsuke Nakamura has signed a new contract or not. Buzzy says, man, reporters and journalists are ruining their own credibility trying to be the first one to break news. It just leads to a tornado of misinformation and that's not good for anybody. Agreed. Lauren says, oh my god, Tom, you realize I could rant on that for years? We will. There's nothing in the world that beats doing the work, but it doesn't make the money. I would know. Yeah, it just doesn't make the money, does it? Or he says, Colohue never clickbait. Try my best. I try and just say the news without hyperbole. I don't always succeed of it because I try and make dumb jokes. But, you know. Noob says, kind of reminds me how Asuka reacted to the report about her absence from WWE TV. That's clickbait at its worst. Well, Asuka, to my knowledge, is on creative hiatus, but I don't believe that's what she was annoyed by. I think it's the idea that she was backstage at Raw all this time and just getting sent home. They have nothing. They have no creative plan for her to be on TV, so she's not on TV. That's true as far as I know. But I also get that a lot of wrestlers just don't like news being reported about them. We need a Tom Rant emote. We do, but I don't have any pictures that work for that. KJ says, Tom Colohue heel turn.